CNBC TV18 and Lufthansa special series, all for this one moment. I'm Sheeren Bhan. Corporate India's top business leaders. When Kumar Mangalam Birla, the chairman of the Aditya Birla Group, talks, the world sits up and listens. Birla has been pretty much spot on with his decision-making over the years. Today, under his leadership, the group has more than doubled its market capitalization with revenues in excess of $28 billion. Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla. Okay, I want to start with something that I know that your father told you before he passed away, and when he formally handed over the baton of the company to you, he said, be brave and don't look back. But I want to, in a sense, get you to look back at the journey that you've traveled so far, the last decade or so that you have been spearheading operations at your group. What, to your mind, is the biggest contribution that you've made?
Well, to start with, the organization needed to be contemporized. We had to bring in new talent that was more relevant to the time. And I think over the last 10 years, we've built a first-class, world-class team. And my ambition really is to build an organization that lasts at least for the next 3-4 decades. Because the organization has also grown. Also because that's my way of doing things. I come in where I believe I can add value when we're in a crisis. But also where there are critical strategic issues involved, where what is strategic architecture of a business, divest a business, also very large and critical. One interfaces with the outside world, one has inputs coming from all over the place. But in terms of who I'd turn to for advice, it would be completely and wholly and solely my own team. We have a sense of where we want to go. Well, no, it can't be outlined by me because I can't be expected to be an expert in all the business. When I went into it, I was very clear that I had nothing invested in the situation. I hadn't invested any money in the situation. It would have been a great deal for us strategically. But if it didn't work my way, I would have walked out of the situation, which happened a couple of times, which is why it took 2 years. And Dr. Modi isn't the most easy person to negotiate. I'm pretty convinced now that I don't want to do joint ventures. It's very difficult to be very clear about what each one brings to the table, and with time I think interests sort of diverge. And unless I absolutely have to, I wouldn't do a joint venture again. It's not that we don't have other joint ventures, but I wouldn't get into a venture with a partner. I'd rather do it ourselves. Or not do it. If you look at our businesses, we are amongst the first 3 players in each of our businesses, barring a few. And I think that if you can't be, you need to get out of the business. At this point in time, we're not number 1 or 2 or 3, let's say, in some of the businesses you talked about. But I see a line of visibility. I know what our moves are going to be going forward. I have a fair sense of what the competition is likely to do, and we've got a fighting chance to be amongst the top 3, if not number 2 or number 1.
Our viewers' contest question of the week is, in which city did Kumar Mangalam Birla pursue his MBA program? A. New York, B. London, C. Boston. SMS LH moment space followed by option A, B or C to 52622 and win fabulous gift hampers from Lufthansa. Please put your hands together and welcome Yash Birla.
Honestly, from what I know about him, he's a very straightforward person. What he is, he is. I mean, you don't have to try and think what is behind that face. Of course, he's in a corporate world, a very eminent personality.
I can't really pursue my interests outside of work because I'm so caught up with work, it's almost obsessive. It's a gradual process, also something to do with time management. But I think my interface with the outside world has increased, and I hope to do more of that going forward. Well, I'm not very comfortable in a social setting. I'd say the wrong thing at the wrong time. But in a business context, I think that I'd rather spend time one-on-one with someone who I want to discuss a particular subject with, or take an opinion from.
And do you get time for music, movies, art, any of those things that you're passionate about?
Movies is something that both Sanija and I love very much, and again it's a great de-stressor, so we'll end up seeing one almost every week.
Who's your
But,
favorite Indian Bollywood movie star?
Aamir actually packs in a lot. He is very passionate. I think he will make a mark for himself globally.
Okay, we've got a surprise for you. The man that you admire as an artist also admires you as a business leader. Here's Aamir Khan talking about Kumar Mangalam Birla.
I remember the first time that we met, you had come to invite me for a function at the Birla Hall. I forget what it was many years ago, and I remember meeting you and your wife for the first time, and right then I felt that, I was meeting someone who's special and someone who's, a very down-to-earth person. And I think you're doing India proud in the world of business. Keep up the good work and all the very best.
We asked India's next generation entrepreneurs to tell us about their journey. Of hundreds of responses we got, 8 lucky young entrepreneurs now get the opportunity to meet up with the business legend that inspired them, learn their mantras of success, and experience an unforgettable moment of a lifetime. After a 3-year stint with his family business Dalmia Cement, young Turk Puneet Dalmia decided to strike out on his own. He started jobsahead.com, an e-recruitment site, in 1999 with a seed capital of $500,000 and eventually sold it off to monster.com for a handsome profit. Returning to the family business Dalmia Cement, Puneet took over as the CEO and Managing Director in January 2007. His long-term goal is to make Dalmia Cements a leading company in the cement industry in terms of capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Puneet Dalmia. Go on, fire your questions.
Which is the best and the worst decision you've ever made?
I think the best decisions have been around people. I've been sort of gifted with this ability to, or the knack to find leaders who I have great chemistry with. And I think that's very important if you're working together. Some of the worst decisions I think have been around, I was just telling Sheeren that I missed a divestment opportunity. Divestment as in the government process of divestment. That's something that I regret.
All right. On that note, Mr. Birla, many thanks for joining us. Thank you very much, Puneet. Okay, it's time now for me to call on Deepak from Lufthansa to hand over some very special mementos to both Mr. Birla and Puneet.
Mr. Birla, thank you for being on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Spending some great memorable moments with us.
Thanks so much.
On behalf of Lufthansa, I wish you would accept this, your truly own model of an Airbus A380.
That's fabulous. Thanks so
with
much.
Your name written on it.
That's special.
And thanks again for these
great
moments
memoir
with us.
for this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And for you, congratulations for being the young achiever. And I would like to give you these 2 Lufthansa business class tickets from any of our 7 cities in India, and you can take it to any of the over 100 cities to Europe.
Thank you very much.
I wish you success and happy flying with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Birla. Thank you very much for coming in. Thanks, Puneet. With that, it's time for us to wrap up this edition of All for This One Moment.